Il treno Pesaro-Parigi è in partenza. I passeggeri salgono in carrozza. Si parte!
Buongiorno, oggi abbiamo con noi un ospite speciale che è qui per tenere la masterclass di moderne tecniche compositive per orchestra jazz. È un compositore, arrangiatore e pianista di fama internazionale. Diamo il benvenuto a Geoff Stradling.
Buongiorno.
Buongiorno. La prima domanda che volevo farle è quali sono le motivazioni che l'hanno spinta a registrare il suo nuovo CD Nimble Digits?
I had the band for about 14 years as a workshop, and by that I mean I would write new music and bring it in, and we would play it or try to find a way to play it, and then sometimes I would edit it or rewrite it, and so we just kept playing and playing. The first year I had the band, we did not play in public at all. We just rehearsed every Monday morning for 2.5 hours for a year. We got together and played because the music was so new, we didn't know how to play it. It was not normal jazz orchestra music. So it took us time, and over that time, many musicians played because everyone is not available free Monday morning. So I began to build a kind of a team of people that were available, people that were interested in exploring ways to make new music. So we had been wanting to record an album for a long time, but there were always some obstacles in the way, schedule, finances, whatever. And finally I found a way to do the whole thing, and I also felt that I had enough good music to make a great album. Not just to make a good album, but to make a great album.
Qual è stato il momento di maggiore soddisfazione e gratificazione nella sua carriera?
Oh, that's hard to say because I like to do so many things. I think some people, particularly pianists, maybe all they do is play piano, but I play piano, I compose, I arrange, I orchestrate, I conduct, I've done content development for big musical instrument companies, for Korg and Yamaha. I've written 2 big books on piano. I've worked on writing music software for people. So all of these are really, for me, part of being a musician. It's not just one thing. There are all these different creative outlets and ways to do things with people. But I would have to put certainly at the top of the list of your question, or near the top of the list, my band, and getting a chance to perform and record this music.
Qual è il percorso che un giovane può intraprendere in America per formarsi musicalmente e quali sono le prospettive lavorative in America per i giovani musicisti?
Excellent question. We're at a time where we see a shrinking number of jobs in Los Angeles in the business of recording music for media. And by that I mean music for movies, television, video games, advertising, internet. I think there are more and more composition jobs because all of those places need musical content and need new music written for them. But in terms of the amount of work in the recording studios, there's less of a position there. So it's difficult to say what the path is today, but if someone begins their college or university or conservatory now, by the time they finish, the world will have changed because it's changing all the time. So I think there are things that do not change. One of them is, yes, you need a solid training in your instrument, in composing and orchestrating, whatever it is. But then you also need experience. So you need to get out into the professional world and start playing and start writing and start working and understand that you're not going to be perfect in the beginning, that you're going to be continuing your education as a professional, because you don't stop learning. The college, university, the conservatory is the beginning of learning. You're constantly learning all the time. You're learning from the people you sit next to when you play. If you're arranging or you're orchestrating, you're learning from the composer or the producers you're working with. I would say one of the most important things about the music business, and perhaps this is not different than other businesses, but the music business is very social. So you can finish your education and have your diploma, your degree in your hand, but that's not necessarily going to get you work. It may get you an audition with an orchestra or something, but you need to get out into the world of professional musicians. And if you're a musician, you need to play with them, you need to sing with them, you need to begin to get a feeling of what else you need to learn and what you need to work on. Because on every job, there are things that you're going to find that you're good at and things you're not good at. And so you sit next to other musicians, you play with them, you start to have a feel for where you need to continue to improve your skills. Also, this means not just musical skills, it means social skills, right? It means your ability to talk to other people like this and to try not to be defensive, but to try to be open. And if someone offers you criticism, take it fairly and evaluate it. And the other musicians, they need to hear you. They need to play with you, they need to work with you, they need to see how you fit in. And if you're expecting them to recommend you, they need to know what you can do. So you need to play with them. You need to play performances, but you need to play rehearsals. Even if somebody needs a substitute for a rehearsal, go play. You need to play, you need to sing. And if you write, you need to write and write and write. On this master class that we're doing right now, we're on a break, I explained that when I began composing and arranging, we had no computers. So everything I wrote, I had to write on the paper. I had to write out the parts for every musician, and I had to go to them and say, will you please play this for me? And then I had to see how it sounded and what sounded good and what didn't sound good, and talk to them. Musicians are your greatest source of information once you are a professional. Even now on a recording session, if I'm orchestrating, when we have a break, I go out into the room with the orchestra and I talk to people. I say, hey, how was the violins on this piece? Did you like the way this worked? And maybe they say, yes, this was great. Or maybe they go, I think there's a better way to do that. I say, show me the better way to do it, right? So it's a very social business, and you need to kind of have the bravery to go out there and show yourself and show what you can do and meet people and talk to people. It's very important.
Quale influenza ha secondo lei l'intelligenza artificiale nel mondo della musica adesso e in futuro potrà influenzare in modo positivo o negativo i processi compositivi musicali?
I don't think we know yet what impact it's having on music yet. We see some negative impact and we see some positive impact. Will it have impact in the future? Absolutely. We don't know exactly what that is. The negative impacts are pieces of music, just like books, are being scanned in, taken in, swallowed whole, digested, and used to train AI. That's a negative impact if it is your intellectual property that you created and they're taking this without your permission and they're teaching the computers to be better without your being compensated. That's a negative impact. A positive impact now is we are starting to see uses of AI in music software that are very helpful. There's a plugin for the music notation program. So it's a plugin that you can buy for Finale, Sibelius, Dorico, called Note Performer. And it uses artificial intelligence to help play back the audio of your music. So for instance, one of the things it does is able to look ahead of what you're hearing right now, and it can see articulation, it can see dynamics, and it can prepare to play the music for you the way you've written it. So this is a positive thing. We're also seeing AI in other plugins that affect audio tracks, where you can use artificial intelligence to change the overall tonal characteristic or the overall blend or volume of a piece of music. So where are we going with AI? I don't know. I think it's just the beginning. You know, we had this computer revolution which never stopped. We're still in a computer revolution, and I think we're just in the beginning of the AI revolution. I don't know where it will go. I think there will certainly be positive and negative impacts.
C'è un film tra quelli prodotti di cui le sarebbe piaciuto scrivere la colonna sonora?
Oh, many. many. I have a kind of fascination with movies that take place in the city I live in Los Angeles, but in the future or in the past, sort of history both directions. So I love both the film Chinatown that Jerry Goldsmith scored. It takes place in the 1930s or 1940s in Los Angeles, although the music is modern because Jerry Goldsmith was not writing a standard kind of music for the film. He was writing psychologically what is happening in the people's brain all the time. So the music is very modern and kind of uncomfortable, right? So that was a very interesting movie and an original approach to music. I also like the first Blade Runner film, which was set in the Los Angeles of the future, which we now live in, and that was a brilliant way to imagine what the world would be in the future, what our future world would be, and what would the future music be. And that score by Vangelis did a very nice job of mixing technology with emotion in such a way that we could feel the move of technology moving forward, but it was still people. So those are two I certainly would have loved to have written. But I'm happy that Jerry Goldsmith scored Chinatown, and certainly happy Vangelis wrote Blade Runner. They both had brilliant visions of the period and how to tell the story.
Thank you.
Thank you.